Hello, welcome to May 27th and your next 24 hours ahead. I am a tarot reader from Brooklyn, New York. We take a look every day at the energies that we may want to consider working with. This reading is for the collective. I don't really do the signs. I don't honestly even understand. I mean, I watch them too, but I don't truly understand how well, maybe that's the skeptic in me. Why I keep reading tarot, even though I think every bit of my logical brain doesn't necessarily believe. Because when I do connect, and for those of you that I've read with will know, it's kind of amazing that you can see a person's life and they don't have to say a word. And it's compelling to me. And it's what keeps me reading. It keeps me watching videos. Do I really believe that one can tell the future? I believe in energy, and that I believe for the reason cards reflect energy. I believe in archetypes. They've been used in how we tell history and our stories for all of mankind. And I think he can give you some indications of what may be coming, but how you respond and how you react, that is part of what is unique to you. It's almost June. June is a crazy month astrologically. I am not even going to pretend to be able to speak about it, except to the highest level, and recommend you to some great astrologers, the People's Oracle, Nadia Shah, Pam Gregory, all amazing, blow my mind astrologers. So let's get started. We're just gonna do a couple more shuffles here. Try to see what is going on. That's it right there. For the collective today, in my janky camera attempts, you can tell that making videos is not something I would put on my resume. Hello, Star Reversed. I made a different deck. Plenty of shuffling. Oh my good lord. The Hierophant and Death Reversed. Well, isn't that appropriate? We'll get to it, don't worry. If you're tuning in for the first time, essentially we read a line at a time, and I ask questions, things you might want to consider, explain what the energy is, and then I encourage you to meditate on it, journal about it, consider how it plays out in the next 24 hours in your world. Lord Almighty, we saw these all yesterday. Not all. There's my OCD showing, sorry. All right. Buckle your seatbelts, friends and family. All right, it's interesting, right? We've had some different storylines, and I really do believe that you will find this video when you are meant to find it. I am reading for the next 24 hours ahead, but again, I think we all know time is not necessarily linear. You'll stumble on it when you need to stumble on it. I'm using the Mythical Creatures Tarot by Alex Yerkolov and Kara Mahoney. Two of my favorite tarot people. Blah. Okay. Here we go. Parsing in real time. Wow, I'm seriously OCD. Okay. Star Reversed again. So in this star card, we have a unicorn, mythical creatures, right? And the sun behind it, and I think those are foxglove blooming. Beautiful card, right? The star is unbridled hope. It is a promise of new beginnings. Often it's a water card. I think it's the card of Pisces. But again, this is reversed. We're not feeling hopeful. We're not feeling optimistic. In fact, the next card here is the Bloody Hierophant. We've seen him almost every single day for weeks. And I'm really not surprised. The Hierophant is about tradition, right? Whatever that means to you. To some, that tradition that they follow most closely is that of the church. Often in other decks, this looks like a pope. The image looks like a pope. This is a centaur. But it does have to do with institutions of higher learning. It can be court systems. It can be doctors. It can be lawyers. People call it the card of marriage sometimes because often people solidify marriages in a civil court or in a church or both. But we've really been talking a lot about values and how we are redefining those right now as a collective. It's not actually, I find it to be an incredibly painful process. We're really seeing who people are and people we've known for a long time. And it's kind of like, I didn't really want to know that about you, white supremacist, or, whatever. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I will, if you're a white supremacist, please do not watch this. But, again, it's really about the values that we have and how they are imparted upon us, how we internalize them, what is normal, what is considered safe. And, I do consider this the card of doctors right now in the pandemic, right next to death reversed. We had this yesterday in the top line, I believe. Death is about transformation. I've said it once, I'll say it at least 5 more times. The ending to all of our stories is death. And as uncomfortable as that basic fact is, it is a basic fact. So death in tarot is not about physical death, but about that transformation, that ultimate ending to our stories. So it can be about endings. It can also be about transformation. The world that you woke up to in January is not the world that you're waking up to for most of us today. So when it's stuck like this, when it's blocked, when this energy is blocked, we are feeling stuck. We are just stuck and not exactly feeling hopeful. And it could have something to do with laws, rules, tradition. I mean, certainly the world is asking more of us right now. I'm not going to say a lot because I don't think wearing a face mask in public is a lot. Personal commentary. But the world is asking more of us as individuals. And I think maybe we're seeing that kind of tension between me and the collective. Next, so the questions I would suggest in that first line is, what in you is feeling hopeless? What in you is feeling stuck? And what is it that is imparting that on you? Is it an actual institution? Is it something that you've learned, a storyline that you've told yourself about yourself that maybe needs to be unlearned? Next line, again, we've seen this over and over. 2 of Swords, and it's gone up and down. 2 of Swords, upright. This sword is true. This sword is true, and I love this image. This sword of truth is looking this way. This sword of truth is looking that way. Ne'er the two shall meet. Which one are you going to choose? The word I often think of when I see the 2 of Swords is impasse. Right, we are at an impasse. We have 2 truths and we don't know how to move forward because each has equal validity. This is about indecision, but we've made a decision here. The impasse is gone. I'm wondering out loud if the decision is going to be made for us, but the Hierophant, but in this case, we may have been feeling, it's interesting, this stuck energy. I would expect to see something like this, right? Not knowing what to do, feeling stuck. But we're feeling stuck and we're charging ahead anyway. We just are so uncomfortable with that stuck feeling that we're charging ahead. So let's see what we've got next. Yeah, Moon reversed. Moon is about mysteries. Look at that. That's just such a great image. You know, this monster under the bed carrying you off at night, kind of this like idea, this fear that we all have. It's about about irrational fears. It's about the unseen. It's about things that are hidden, secrets. We see this a lot. When I see the moon, I often think, oh, well, Tara's not giving any secrets up. But it's reversed here. So we feel as though a truth has been revealed, some truth, right? That is allowing us to make a decision. I don't think every decision, but we've found something out here with the moon in the center of the spread. And it's actually quite interesting because we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Now the Wheel of Fortune, I just really love this card, like in every deck, but especially in this deck. The Wheel of Fortune is about lessons, right? In traditional Rider-Waite Wheel of Fortune, it's this wheel, like an actual wheel with markings on it. And I often, when I try to describe it to others, I say each marking is a moment in time in your life. And some of them we call beautiful, and some of them we call horrible. But each one is a lesson, and they will repeat and repeat until we listen and until we learn. And the message will often get louder and louder and more difficult until we listen, until we learn. And I love how this Wheel of Fortune is telling that story through generations, right? We have young, middle-aged, old woman here sitting by the water, the swans mate for life, and the owl in the tree. Again, this is about wisdom that is garnered through generations. It may not, it may be a story or a lesson that you'll have to learn and will repeat your entire life, right? But it's about getting to that enlightenment point. It's when we're able to see that outside of ourselves and know it is true for us. So in this actual spread, I'm going to say the Wheel of Fortune is actually defining that truth for ourselves. What is that lesson, that generational lesson, that lesson that's repeated our whole lives, that is presenting itself yet again, and maybe a new form, and getting louder, and can we learn from it today? So what is your lesson? What is your Wheel of Fortune lesson? And are you listening? Or are you moving ahead, whether or not you have clear answers? Because we have the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands is about conflict, just straight up. Wands are fire. Fire energy is action. This could be actual conflict with other people. It can be an internal conflict. Many of us have that, committee of different opinions in our head, whether or not we are with other people, hearing what they would think, what they would think. How many silent arguments have you had with another person? But the Five of Wands is conflict, strife. No two ways around that. And it's right next to the card of the global pause, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about what happens when we go into that moment. I mean, in the literal sense, it is suspense, right? A momentary pause. This is often a card of meditation, a card of, going inward. When the Hanged Man is upright, it's someone who's sometimes trying to stand in their power, maybe before they have all the facts. But when we are in that pause, and I say this before global pause, I would have described it this way in this time last year. When we are in that moment of meditation, quiet, reflection, we find things out about ourselves that were not necessarily evident, in the busy hurriedness of the day. In that quiet, in that moment of pause, what are you finding out about yourself? My God, it's like a global meditation that we've been on in universal lockdown. We're forced to be in the feelings. We're feeling the feels. And what have you discovered about yourself? Do you like it? Is there some lesson that you've been avoiding? That you don't have anywhere to run and hide? And you're being forced to face at this time. And is it about how you connect and how you desire to connect with other people? We have the Two of Cups reversed. Now, the Ace, so Cups in Tarot are represent water. Water represents emotions. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be a water sign in your life. But the Two of Cups can be a lot of different things, but it really is about union with another individual, whether it be partnership in business, romantic, friendship, you name it. But in the Ace of Cups, it's the spark, it's the beginning. We each have our own cup. The Two of Cups, we're coming together with another individual. Again, this really doesn't necessarily have to apply to love. It often does, just because it's emotional. But business partnerships can be emotional. Friendships can be emotional. But it's upside down. So this is a feeling of disconnectedness. This is not feeling, actually maybe feeling a loss of a friend, the end of a job, the end of a relationship, or just a lack of that connection with another individual, with a best friend that you can call any time of day. Is that the lesson that we've learned in this pause? That is maybe what our heart wants the most. And we're a little bit stuck or conflicted, Five of Wands, of how to get there. And are we just charging ahead anyway, right? We've made a decision. We don't want to be stuck anymore. We want to have hope. I don't know. Because the bottom of the deck is calling, oh, that's funny. That was the Hermit. Funny to a tarot reader is not funny to most people. Underneath the deck, we had Strength. So strength in every tarot deck is about the most unlikely of creatures taming some sort of vicious animal. In this case, it looks like it's a rooster, taming a lion. In the Rider-Waite, it's a young woman, with this vicious lion next to her, just, calmly taming him. So it's about finding our power in the most unlikely of places. There's a line, and I'm going to struggle with who said it. I want to say it was Frost. That in our pain lies our greatest strength. In our pain. Our pain is the same thing as our... I'm going to find the quote, and I'm going to place it in the description. Actually, that's going to be the name of the video. Our scars will be beautiful to somebody, will be what makes us interesting and unique to someone. And I think more than anything in our lives, and this is personal commentary, we just want to be seen for who we are and loved for who we are, scars and all. And today, this is really feeling like longing to me, and maybe charging ahead to learn that lesson. Again, the Hierophant can often be the card of marriage, and I think in this reading, I'm going to read it about really wanting to, it just seems like this is really wanting to make, have a relationship that is official, that is solid, that is yours, your person. And trying to find the strength today to actually make some moves in that direction. So go for it. I don't know if this reading's for me. I think I'm going to stay in the Hanged Man position today and still consider it. But if this is you, go fight win. I hope this was helpful. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Know you are loved. Be well.